At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Betting on sports can be hard, but hiring Morgan & Morgan is easy. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/bestbets or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/bestbets. This is a paid advertisement.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
2 more games to get to. College football playoffs. Touchdown Florida. Now 18.5 in play, 29.5 the total. They lead 15-0 as they try the extra point. Every time I look up, they have the ball. First downs are 18-4. Passing yards are 258-48. Yards are 370-98. If I lose this bet, I'm going to go postal. I mean, this is lunacy. 4 combined turnovers in the game, and
the score should be like 30-0. Florida.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Tulane's got 30 yards passing.
Yeah,
33 yards passing.
Are they going to score a point?
Back. Yeah, good question.
What's the current in play? You said 18.5.
Yeah, they made the extra point. Yep, 18.5, 29.5 the total. That's it. We're late in the third quarter. Yeah, will Tulane score?
4 minutes to go in the third quarter, down 16.
4 first downs.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the Clemson conundrum. And they're the middle game tomorrow. 34-3 against Georgia. Lost at home 33-21 to Louisville. Wasn't that close. Lost to South Carolina. Klubnik was awful in that game. Lost 17-14. Beat Pitt. Klubnik had the long run. They should have lost that game. Great in the first half against SMU. Blew a 17-point lead. They hit the walk-off game winner at the gun. They've looked the part. Playoff team now. Looked the part for one half the whole year. One half they've looked the part. But then the comeback is, yes, all the talent in the world. Texas, such a great defense. #2 in the country, only giving up 12.6 points per game. But who'd you play? Who'd you beat? Georgia, you should have been up big at half of the SEC title game against Georgia, then they punked you on your home floor or home field. So, not only do I have to win, I got to win by 2 touchdowns here.
I guess at this point, probably the best performance they put together the entire year was November 9th when they beat Florida 49-17. Right?
Yeah, it looks good now.
Knowing what we know now?
Yeah.
When this is, Florida was a laughingstock again after week 1. Everybody thought that Napier was going to lose his gig. They turned it around. So that looks like a really good performance. The A&M spot, 17-7. Again, the defense really showed up in that game. But other than that, again, so you went to Michigan and won by, almost 3 touchdowns. Again, Michigan was not good this year. I don't care that they beat Ohio State as a 3-touchdown dog. They just were not a good football team. They killed Mississippi State, big deal. They walloped Oklahoma 34-3. I guess you got to say that that's pretty impressive. I don't know, because Oklahoma beat Alabama. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. I just don't think they're that good. They backed in and got lucky to get in the ACC title game, and then I give them credit. They were
that's
great.
For sure.
But also SMU was nervous, and they turned the ball over a couple times.
I'll put it this way,
and
Paul.
handed Clemson 14 points.
Who would you rather see playing in this game tomorrow, Clemson or Miami?
Oh, please.
Miami might lose by 10 points, but you know what? They're going to lose 50-40.
Yeah, #1 offense in the country. That's right. Right. So this is the one that gets out of control. Maybe it's this game in the middle. But
yeah, and that's why I haven't bet him.
I'm not a big Sark fan, but I certainly like Sark over Dabo as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. So, but here's your angle, though. If it's the blowout, and it's because he's, you're right, playoff game, we're going to play till the gun. Klubnik, 10-1, most passing yards. And if they're getting beaten, he's just throwing the ball the entire second half. There could be some yards there.
Now, that's just for this round.
Yeah. Yes, right. He's 12. Howard's 4. Nico's 6. Rourke's 14. Ewers is 3-1. Leonard's 9. Aller's plus 750. Jennings is plus 375.
Wow.
So Caesars and Will Hill. How about
right,
that respect?
How many yards, if I told you right now?
We'll do it?
Yeah,
we'll do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
350?
I think that's good.
Oh, I would be very confident.
Yeah, that should hold up. But it also goes back to game flow and if someone's getting blown out.
I don't know if 300 will do it, though. I think we'll probably have there's a chance we have multiple 300-yard passers.
I could see Ewers doing it just because of how good those wide receivers, some of those catches they made in the SEC title game and taking shots down the field, what he could do there. And that whole story's weird as well, that thanks a lot. As soon as you lose, here comes Arch and then go play somewhere else, Belichick, speculation, $4 million a year, whatever.
Okay, so I'm looking at Klubnik's game log. So early on, second game of the year against App State, he threw for almost 380 yards and 5 touchdowns.
They were great in that game, right?
Yeah,
but that's
against Wake, they won 49-14. He threw for 309. Against Virginia, they won 48-31. He threw for 308. Those are the only 3 games this year he threw for more than 300 yards. When they got blown up by Georgia, he threw for 142 yards, and they were down big pretty much the entire time. When it mattered most, anyway. Could not rally, never got anything to go going offensively whatsoever. Threw for 280 against South Carolina. And you're right. I thought the Louisville final score was misleading. He threw for 228 in that game.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's 10 or 12 to 1 for a reason.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Games to go to overtime. These are at DraftKings. This is the entire playoffs. Will we have an overtime game? Yes, plus 120. Over 1.5 is plus 450. You mentioned the 150 yards receiving is down from 4-1 to plus 250. Entire playoffs. 200 yards rushing, plus 550. 400 yards passing is 10-1. First round, 400 yards, 22-1. 200 yards rushing, 25-1. 150 yards receiving, 12-1.
I looked at every single quarterback in the playoffs for 400-yard passing games this year. One quarterback threw for 400 yards twice this year. No other quarterback made it to that mark. And that quarterback is not playing. Carson Beck did it against Mississippi State and Alabama. A bunch of guys, I think it was 6 overall, had 150-plus receiving yards. That, to me, is a good bet.
Yes, a lot of talent. Yes. And right, and it might be the next round. Genty, Scatterboo.
Oh, the rushing.
But yes.
Yeah.
Get the guys off the bye. And maybe what Arizona State guys could do as well. Most points. Penn State and Texas 2-1. This is just this week. Notre Dame 3. Indiana 16. Clemson 20. Buckeyes 7. SMU 14. Tennessee 20-1. Most points. They're the favorites. They're 2-1. Low points. Fewest points, Tennessee 2-1.
Okay, so which road team do you think has the best chance to win?
SMU.
Well, then why not bet them to score the most points? Because I think Penn State's going to score.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you said 14-1?
Yeah, not a bad angle. Right? I think Texas could blow out Clemson.
Okay.
I expect that. I think Notre Dame handles Indiana tonight by at least 2 scores. And I don't know what to do with the late game. Ohio State should win, but I like Chip Kelly. They were horrible in the Michigan game, but is Chip Kelly going to embarrass himself? He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. Throw the football. Don't play in with Michigan wanted you to run the ball. What were you
begging you?
Yeah, but he also maybe his hands are tied. If Will Howard's going to make a horrible decision early on, because they played and coach scared in that game.
That could happen. I did take the Tennessee plus the 7.5, and the closer we get to game time, honestly, if I did not have that bet in pocket right now, I don't know if I'd bet Tennessee.
It's very popular, right?
Well, and also
the betting splits you ran down yesterday in a pregame show.
Oh, it's alarming.
Right.
How many people were on Tennessee?
This is a sharp book here, and it's mostly Ohio State money.
Yeah.
The Tennessee conundrum. Struggled with Oklahoma.
They could have lost that game.
They did lose to Arkansas, 19-14. Lost to Georgia, 31-17. Where's this great offense I hear about?
Well, it wasn't there in the SEC play. They look great against the worst non-conference schedule you're ever going to look at.
They did. That's right.
But to their credit, they do have a ton of talent on defense, the defensive line anyway, and they played to their level this year.
So that total's come down as well. Going to be cold. And again, Ohio State, number 1 scoring defense, number 1 total defense. And they give up 10 points per game.
Yeah, they allowed 20 points in a game one time this year. Tennessee allowed 20 points twice. I think the more I think about this game, I want to bet like alt unders. This is where I really want nothing to happen. Mm-hmm. And that way the Tennessee bet's going to be live.
Right,
like, give me 10-6 right now. Super happy.
You are looking great if Howard throws an interception early.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they're really going to go conservative.
Oh, yeah.
And this could be no score first 5.5 minutes, too, where you just come out and don't make a mistake. And I love the angle, too. Let me expand on this. It was on Dan Wetzel had this. So I think if Buckeye fans and Ohio State people, if you put in the code OSUFB, that was the code to get the tickets, right? Well, word quickly reached Knoxville, and now there could be a ton of Tennessee fans there.
We can only hope.
Yeah, saying, hey, all you got to do is enter this code, and this is how you get the tickets and everything, because we were only getting 3,500 tickets. Yeah. They weren't going to allow us in the shoe.
How about this?
So then it's like, oh, just put this code in, and you can get tickets now.
Here's their message to the Buckeye faithful. We never even hacked you. We just took a guess.
That's it.
OSUFB. Boom. There we go. It worked.
Sure, it came up. They've lost 21 in a row on the road against top 10 teams. And for the first time since 1988, an SEC team is going into the shoe.
That's wild. Who's a better coach?
Oh, I like what Pat Forty said. Even if your day, you just say, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think so.
It's better off for me if I go somewhere else.
You tap out. Well, that's what I was saying about Eberflus this year with Chicago. Just, dude, admit that you're horrible. Please leave.
Yeah, right. We have the ultimate gift for you, or the sports better in your life. Take advantage of our holiday special. Get VSiN Pro access. Everything we do through May 1st, just $79. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits from DraftKings and Circa. The 24/7 video access, the betting guides, and the picks for all the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and the props. Make this holiday season unforgettable with the gift of smarter betting. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get the winning edge today. $79 through May 1st. VSiN.com/subscribe. Back to Saturday NFL. A good doubleheader. Numbers, trends, stats you will not believe on the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game straight ahead on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Florida in the red zone again. Trying to get more here. And now
in the end zone
another
again.
Touch. Yep. 20, flag.
No, it won't matter.
But again, every time I look up, they have the ball. Incredible. Going to be a fun day tomorrow. 5 football games. Next Saturday, 11 football games. 8 bowl games and the triple-header in the NFL. So while we have the 3 playoff games in college, which we went over, and we'll go live to South Bend coming up next with Dr. Stephen Gephardt. We also have the doubleheader in the NFL. The late game, Steelers and Ravens. This from Evan Abrams. The Steelers haven't closed as a 6-point dog or higher against the Ravens since 2012. They've only done so twice to the Ravens since 1996. Those games were started by Dennis Dixon and Charlie Batch. As a dog of 4 points or more versus the Ravens, the Steelers are 8-0 ATS. And Lamar is 0-5 ATS against Tomlin. Over the last 20 years, the dog is 29-10-3 ATS.
That's crazy.
In the regular season, when the line is 3 or more, the dog is 23-4-3. And the dog is 16-2-1 ATS since 2015, covering by 5.6 points per game. In the regular season, the underdog is 24-6-3 ATS when Tomlin faces Harbaugh. And now we have 7. And Aguilar's out. Bateman's questionable. Johnson has been cut. What a fiasco. That guy could have walked into something here. But he's a head case. So I can't get past what Art Smith said, though, and I'm with you, and we're dying to bet Pickens props because every game the longest reception is cashed, but he's been out 3 games in a row now. Yeah. Art Smith, we're like an old pickup truck. We need jumper cables to get going.
That's fairly alarming, I would say. So I'll ask you this. in terms of like power ratings, where would you put Baltimore compared to Philadelphia? And I'm asking because the Steelers just played the Eagles last week, obviously. Pretty similar?
Yeah.
And now Baltimore is favored by more than the Philadelphia Eagles were last week. Both
Interesting
teams,
point. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and Watt's going to be back for this game. He left the game last week. There was no Pickens last week, same as here.
Philly's not designed to blow people out. I mean, Baltimore can blow you out.
That's right.
Because of the difference in the offenses. I mean, it's Lamar compared to Hurts, and Hurts is playing with the bad finger.
Right. But also, that was a complete mismatch last week. Philadelphia toyed with them.
The last 10 minutes just...
That's all you need to know.
Beautiful.
Okay, so they took their souls on that final drive.
Yes.
So then why should we not bet Baltimore at 6.5 here? Right? If we think Baltimore is power rated the same or maybe even a little bit better than Philadelphia, is it because of the history here? And is it just that simple? It's the rivalry. It's a divisional game. Tomlin knows Baltimore inside and out. And as you just said, the dog in the series has been incredible going back.
Yeah.
Like everything is telling me to not trust that and just go with Baltimore in this game.
Mm-hmm. It's just weird stuff happens when Lamar goes against them.
That's exactly right. 2
years ago, thoroughly outplayed him. Drops, silly turnovers, the interception in the end zone.
How about the two-point conversion in the first game?
Yeah, that
what
too.
What the hell was that play call?
Tucker issues, right? Boswell makes 6 field goals. It holds up.
That's right.
That's another angle. But Boswell over 1.5 made field goals. But don't worry about the juice. But that comes into it, right? And still, do you trust the defense? It's getting better, but without Pickens, those, it's hard to see how they're going to do much damage through the ground.
Oh, he means a lot to the
through the
offense.
air and on the ground,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So, and then it could be a high total too, if you don't think Pittsburgh's going to move the ball. The early game, KC at home to Houston. KC 3.5, 42, the total. I agree with you. It's too high now, the total. I think Nico Collins has a big game. Kansas City has allowed some big games to wide receivers, and you saw what Judy did. So congratulations, they finally covered last week. Ended that 7-game ATS drought and losing streak, but they were +6 in the turnover battle. So you got a hobbled Mahomes. You do get Hollywood Brown back, who's going to play, but then the issues at left tackle as well. You love this Houston defense. They've been nasty, but Stroud's got to prove it to me. He's been so bad this year, and it started with that Buffalo game when Collins got hurt. And the defense won them the game against Miami. He didn't play well and only had 130 yards passing in that game. So the other thing is Ryans has got to get this fixed. They're 12-2 ATS in the first half. They're 3-11 in the second half.
Wow.
Got to fix that. What's going on at halftime?
I also
put someone away too.
Yeah, it ties into the play calling too, right?
He's done a bad job.
Really bad job. And the early runs that they have, early downs, the running rate, that's got to stop. And we have not seen the Stroud from last year basically at all in his sophomore season here. And that's unfortunate because who knew at that point, right? When the season ended last year, like this guy might be Mahomes. I don't know. Because he had basically the best rookie season ever by a quarterback. Like the sky's the limit. Nope. Sophomore slump, teams adjusted, and it has not been the same. And by the way, that was after they brought in Diggs. Didn't matter when they had Diggs and Collins this year. So if it touches 4, which I don't know if it will or not, I'll be interested in Houston at that point. DraftKings right now has a total of 42.5. So it's going up still. I don't know about that.
This is 20-17.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Or even lower than that.
Probably, yeah, that could be. Yeah, I think that's too high. Seattle, as I mentioned, 0-5 ATS this year against teams with a winning record. Dallas 1-6 at home. Colts 4-0 ATS against the division. How do they respond? Do they come out knowing they're essentially eliminated, and after the fiasco in Denver, do they come out with their hair on fire, or are they demoralized?
How sick do you think Jonathan Taylor was watching the game last night? Knowing, Jesus, man, now the Broncos lost that game.
They blew it.
I totally blew it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Looks horrible if they run the table. They're down to 3.5.
They got to have their chins up, though, because they can still get in.
Yeah.
The Bengals can get in.
That'd be a miracle, but that,
they need to win out.
That's not. It's not a miracle because because they play Denver and Denver plays Kansas City.
Right. So here's I think what has to happen. The Bengals have to win out. The Broncos have to lose out. Certainly possible with their last 2 games. And then I think they have to have like the Colts and Miami lose at least 1 game, which can happen.
Yeah. But the Colts, and now it's you trust a team with Tennessee, even though with the quarterback change, that's 2-12 ATS. Are you back on Ridley, perhaps?
Well, he would put me on it.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way I'm going to deal with Will Levis ever again. But there'd be enough here, right? Again, I don't think the Colts defense is very good, so I think that'd be a possibility. How about this? Jared Goff is 14-5 straight up, 14-4-1 ATS in divisional games since 2021. Tied into what you said earlier, Dan Campbell is what, 9-0 ATS?
Covered 9 in a row off a loss.
There you go.
Yep.
They respond nicely, and he's awesome in the division.
It's a weird week. Raiders favored. They've lost 10 in a row. Eagles won 10 in a row, only 3.5 at Washington. Home dogs this year, 42%. Second worst since 1990. The Giant Atlanta game. Giants have lost 9 in a row. They're 1-8 ATS. But yet do I back a quarterback making his first start? And in the last 40 years, no rookie quarterback making his first start week 10 or later has ever laid this kind of number. Chris Everett, I did it. Jim Everett in 86.
There you go.
Laying 6.5, and Lamar Jackson, his first start. But Penix is 8.5, 9 in this game.
Okay, so I like what you said about the Raiders. They've lost 10 straight, but they're favored here.
Why are they playing O'Connell? Oh, this is lunacy.
It's a huge mistake. But doesn't that kind of make you want to bet them? I want nothing to do with Jacksonville. I know that they, recently won a game. They were right there with the Jets last week. Mac Jones 1-15 straight up, 2-14 ATS is a dog of 7 points or less. And it's O'Connell, Bowers. If Myers goes, they should be able to feast on one of the worst passing defenses in the entire NFL. This is the team that screwed it up. They never should have defeated Tennessee. Just try to lose that game. You had the number 1 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm strong on the Rams. Can you get there with me?
Oh, I can.
McVay, 14-2 ATS in December. Stafford, no turnovers last 5 games, longest of his career. Jets can't stop anything. You said what happened? Well, once they fired Sal, it's been horrendous. Right? And they can't stop anything, and certainly Kupp and Puka can have a big game, and it's also McVay against an interim coach. And the Jets playing out the string. I don't care it's cold. Stafford does have a problem. You say, well, he hasn't played well in the cold, but I don't think it's going to give him any issues here.
How about the sudden resurgence by the Jets offense? It's been better in recent weeks.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. No doubt. It could be a high-scoring game, but Rodgers will probably turn it over. How many points are they going to score?
Oh, they'll score. I think they're going to score in the 20s.
Well, you know what he's going to do? He's looking at Adams.
Well, Wilson will get involved.
50, 60 yards? I mean, that's... Maybe.
I think they're going to score. Jets are going to put up points in this game.
Okay. That's a huge game, though, for the Rams.
Yeah. I don't think the Jets are going to slow them down.
No way. Ready to elevate your tailgate game? Try Sewell's, born from a backyard cookout in a mason jar of unforgettable flavor. Sewell's has become a Southern favorite, lighting up taste buds from Georgia to the Carolinas. From ribs and wings to a backyard burger, Sewell's takes every bite to the next level. Order online, Sewell'sBarbecueSauce.com. Southern hospitality never tasted so good. Sewell'sBarbecueSauce.com. 11 minutes left. Florida touchdown called back, kicked the field goal, 19-0 against Tulane, and we're 90 minutes away from our first ever college football playoff game with the big boys. Now we're going to the expanded bracket. We'll go out to South Bend with Indiana alum, big sports bettor, Dr. Stephen Gephardt, up next to tell us about the weather and his pick. Straight ahead on VSiN. Follow the money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Getting ready for Notre Dame and Indiana. Been looking forward to this. We're going live to South Bend on the 40-yard line. He said it's once in a lifetime. Indiana alum, pro sports bettor, hands like Joe DiMaggio. Put my father to shame, a real doctor. Dr. Stephen Gephardt, Nevada Pain Care. He's on the Progressive guest line, and he's live from the stadium. Doctor, great to talk to you, and give us an update on the weather. You said the snow stopped. Tell us about the temperature and the wind.
Minimal wind, very little wind, but it's getting colder every second. It's really cold, about 20 degrees right now.
So you told me earlier in the week this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime experience as well. What do you mean by that?
I started the Indiana University Alumni Club in Vegas in '85. We've never done anything in football. This is a life changer.
Yeah, you've never been good. Absolutely. So what the key to this game tonight, and we disagree. I like the Irish. You think Indiana can keep it close. What's the first thing Indiana has to do to keep this one close and offensively, in your opinion?
Move the ball, pass the ball. Indiana gets ahead. Notre Dame cannot come back. Leonard is not a good quarterback throwing the ball. He's a running quarterback. I'm telling you right now, Indiana's going to cover the spread.
So you agree with the line movement earlier today, right? It moved from 7 to 6.5.
Go IU! Go IU!
How was the alcohol flowing?
Hey, I'm telling you, Indiana's going to be in the game.
What about the resume? What if I say you didn't play well against Michigan, you didn't play well against Ohio State, and those are the two tough teams on the schedule?
I will tell you very clearly one thing. We can move the ball on Notre Dame. We can move the ball. And I will tell you, the cold weather under no circumstances helps us or helps them. We're going to move the ball.
How come you're so confident in that? Because when I look at the one team that I think is most comparable to Notre Dame, it would be Ohio State's defense. Indiana did not move the ball after that first drive, and Notre Dame's defense was some metrics, good sir, better than Ohio State's.
Who beat Michigan? Indiana beat Michigan. Do I need to say anything else?
Oh, you're going to give me that? If they win, are you going to go to the next game?
Of course I am. Are you kidding me? New Orleans, here I come, buddy.
How much was a hotel stay?
What?
How much was the hotel stay?
I didn't hear what you said.
The hotels, one night hotel, wasn't it was Fairfield Inn charging like $1,200 a night?
I bought a house to come to the game. I bought a house back here.
Okay. That's great.
Let me ask you this.
I bought a house 40 minutes from the stadium.
Okay. Sports betting is legal in the great state of Indiana. Do you plan on having your phone fired up during the game to do some live betting, or is it too cold not to take your gloves off?
My only concern is it going to work? I've already been betting the game. But yes, I'll have it fired up. What are you talking about? Come on.
Why are you in the stadium already?
Yeah, it's cold. It's 17 degrees.
Right, game kicks off in 90 minutes. Shouldn't you be at one of the bars nearby?
It's cold as hell here.
Yeah.
It's cold as hell, guys. Come on. Indiana's going to be in the game. That's what I think.
Okay.
You got it. Thanks, Doctor. Once in a lifetime experience.
Hey,
yeah.
Go IU.
You
go
got it.
Hoosiers.
You got it. All right. It's on the Progressive guest line. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you. All right. They're going to be in the game. We got it. Excellent. But I never thought about that. Just get a house. I don't have to get that if it's Fairfield Inn or whatever for $1,200 a night. That's where they go. If they win, they play. That's in New Orleans?
Oh, I didn't memorize.
Is that what it is? Well, that's what he said. Okay.
Okay. Well, I take his word for it then.
Okay.
Oh, you know that. I mean, he's a lifelong fan. I mean, he's a doctor. He does really well at sports. I mean, he's going to travel to all these games. Yeah.
And we talked to a lot of Indiana people in the last month, and they said the same thing about that's why the tickets were get-in price was originally $1,200, $1,100 for Battle of Indiana here.
Yeah.
And you couldn't miss it. But that's also he was right. He used colorful language off air. They've been horrible his whole life. He's an older gentleman, but they've stunk for how long?
No, never
and
saw
then,
this
do you ever
happening.
think you get in this position and you can be in the playoff and right away Signetti comes in and you're in the playoff?
Paul, what's the comparison? Vanderbilt going 11-1, making the playoffs? What's the team? I have never once in my life.
Well, I thought the UNLV thing was Oh,
okay. Well, I'm talking about bigger conferences.
Okay, fine.
Overall, I've never thought about Indiana football once in my life, other than when they played Wisconsin.
Yeah, they were 100-1 to make the playoff, just to make the playoff.
And I never would have considered that bet.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have a lot of comparisons out there.
Even with the easy schedule, you've been laughed at.
Right. I will remind people that this goes back a long time. Kansas State was, my God, they were so dreadful before Bill Schneider. They were probably the worst program in the country.
Yeah.
And he turned
That's
it into a national power.
Yeah.
My Badgers were the same way. Mm-hmm. They were awful in the 80s. One of the worst teams in the entire country. And then Barry Alvarez came there and he completely flipped it. And for 30 plus years, they've been a really good program. But I don't know how many other teams would actually be a good comp for Indiana.
Yeah, well, he's also going with the common opponent there thing, but you have to throw that out. Yeah. Rivalry game, and so.
Well, I think the Doctor might be feeling pretty good right now.
Oh, sure, yeah. The tailgate, they've been there early. You saw the people driving into the stadium. You got that, Luke? People driving into the stadium, ready to tailgate early.
Weren't you hoping that once we, like Golick's tweet today, when it took off?
I know, I saw it.
I was thinking to myself.
It was snowing this morning, 7 a.m.
It's a dream come true.
I know, the snow
I saw
stuff.
this.
Look at
yeah,
this.
look, come on.
Look at that. Everyone driving in, touchdown Jesus, here we go, the snow playoff game. The snow stopped. Here's what he said. Snow stopped hours ago. Little bit wind okay, feels like 17. Cold as hell. Yes, cold as hell. Which your question's legitimate. Why you go have a hot chocolate somewhere?
Yeah, go to the bar.
Why are you in the?
Don't go in there right now.
He's on the 40-yard line. We're 90 minutes to kickoff here. That's are you stay? I'm going to stay with the 5:10. 5:10 kickoff. You're going to go over?
Well, that's what it says now. Everywhere.
Right.
So that's
better
what I'll
kick
go
off
with
at
too.
5:10.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
ESPN did a 4-hour pregame. Did I say this? First time since 1990, Notre Dame home game, and it's not on NBC.
What?
Yeah.
Is that right? Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I hope this goes so well tonight because I don't want them to move to neutral site games. I really don't. This could be the charm that we're about to get potentially tonight and tomorrow is going to be game changing.
Sorry, I'm fired up about this because also, what's the alternative? Like if the students didn't come back, you had some empty seats, the get-in price was $30. What do you think's going to happen if you go to a neutral?
Well,
they're not going to travel then.
No, I wouldn't think so.
It just goes back to this. You're going to face a bigger conundrum and issue with the I don't have an unlimited travel budget. So here I have a home game and it's right down the road. As opposed to, here's another game I got to travel. So you're going to ask me to go conference title game, neutral site, neutral site, neutral site, neutral site.
It's a big ask.
You can't do it.
No,
I like your angle. Number one, to help out and reward the teams with the bye. It should be back-to-back home games.
I want more home games, sites. Not fewer home games.
Yes, it should be campus sites first 2 rounds.
Right.
Semis will go neutral. You can't expect these guys to travel 4 or 5 times.
But, and by the way, they can't expand to 14. I'll say 16 because I think they're eventually going to expand to 16. You can't expand to 16 teams making the playoff and then make every single game on a neutral. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
You have to, I would, at that point, then every team's going to play a first round game or even amount of games. Then just have the team with the better seed have the home games and then call it good. But under this current format, you have to give the teams with the bye a home game. And by the way, it adds to it. There's something special about watching this game tonight at night, and if the snow's coming down, compared to, oh, hey, here's another game played at Arlington. Yippee.
Right. The best point he made was Indiana's got to get the lead early, and also, do you trust Leonard throwing the ball?
No, not really.
That's
I would
the
actually,
key right there.
I think I haven't bet it yet, but his prop at 184.5 passing yards is a big number to me. I guess that scenario exists. If Indiana jumps on him early, then they start passing maybe a little bit more. But that's he only went over that number 4 times this year, I think. So,
yeah. But let's say it's 37-10 Notre Dame.
Okay.
How high is that number against Georgia?
Oh, they might reach 3.
Well, I think it's past 3.
Oh, you think it's past 3?
Don't you? If it opened 2.5,
but still Georgia,
we just thought. Yeah, but we just thought it was. You were thinking it's going to be the back. Well, now we know it's the backup. And if they're impressive against Indiana?
Well, I'll give you another one. And if Ohio State blasts Tennessee, they might. Yeah. I would expect them to be favored against Oregon.
Plethora of picks and props coming up next. We close strong with In Pocket.
girlfriend was knocked up.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's unborn children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Here we go. Make it in pocket plays is hard. Hiring Morgan & Morgan is easy. If you're ever injured, check out Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Submitting your injury claim is very easy. If you're ever injured, check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more info, go to forthepeople.com/bestbets or dial #law, #529 from your cell, forthepeople.com/bestbets or #law, #529 from your cell. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan. 26-0 Florida. 5 minutes left. Imagine if you were part of the Tulane money. No one's perfect, but you like to have a chance when you make a bet. From 14 down to 9.5, they have 6 first downs. Last check, and 120 yards. Ooh. Okay, no good last night with the Thursday night game. First quarter under 7.5. No good. I was expecting a low-scoring game, anything but. Longest field goal over 48.5. That was a banger. And Dicker. I can't get enough of the story that guys on both teams had no idea what was going on at that moment.
You mean like overtime in the Super Bowl?
Yes, right, that too.
And then also Harbaugh calls it his favorite rule in the entire
favorite rule
in sport, yeah.
Yeah, right. Practice it every Friday. Herbert, no interception, loser. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal winner, and Georgia Southern plus the points no good as they continue to turn it over. Very popular play. Very popular. Tennessee plus 7.5 tomorrow. So you heard from the good doctor. I'm shocked he's in the stadium already at 3:30. But under 50.5. It's cold as hell. And it's getting, feels like 17 degrees, he said.
You know, the good doctor and I are partners in the snake draft that we did back in July.
Damn right. Good to have a couple tickets, better chances to cash them.
Let me see who's got the better part of this. He's got a piece of my Atlanta Falcons future. I have some of his Eagles future.
Okay. What did he get? What do you have on the Eagles?
Yeah, I think he picked. I have to call it back. I think he wins like 80 plus thousand.
Florida minus 12. Ice cream. Finally got a winner. And another bowl game that moved against me. 26-0, 5 minutes left. Love Tampa Sunday night. Love them. Highest scoring road team in the league. Dallas allows the most points at home. Parsons is sick. He's questionable. Is it just Parsons? Is he out? Does he take other guys with him? Tampa first half if you're so inclined. 7 touchdowns on their opening drive this year. 9 scores on their opening drive. Second most in the league. Chiefs 2.5 against the Texans. Can't bet at DraftKings, counting the days down, probably 6 months. Any game during the playoff run. Any game. Quarterback throws for 400 yards, 10-1. Man City to finish bottom half of the table, 5-1. We know Nigel's connected. He goes to the Arsenal and Crystal Palace holiday parties every year. He knows people. His source on this is top-notch, that they expect a 30 to 40 point reduction on Man City.
I made the same bet.
And they're not playing well.
I asked him about relegation. Is 10-1 worth it? He said no. The bottom teams are too bad.
That's fair. Fair assessment, no doubt. We're going League 2. Port Vale, $1.40 against Carlisle. Carlisle, dreadful. Port Vale, top of the table, battling out with Walsall. Second on the table. Love the $1.40. Port Vale to get it done. Adding Ohio State, Tennessee under 46. James Conner, over 84.5 rushing yards. McBride, over 69.5 receiving. Is it that low now?
Yeah, I saw it get down to 60.5.
Okay, thank you. Thielen, over 56.5. And largest lead, Ohio State, Tennessee, under 16.5. And A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown as well, and I like Nico Collins over. There we go.
All right, grading the plays from last night. Avs, -0.5 in the first period, +114 got there. Bo Nix over ladder bet, 29.5 and 39.5 losers. He had 25. They didn't really run him that much last night. He wasn't looking to take off. I will tell you this. Had that been Justin Herbert that I bet, over 29.5 and over 39.5, and lost it the way that it would have played out, he got up to 48. By the way, he was 38-1 to lead the game in rushing, which he almost pulled off until Edwards snapped that long one.
Yes.
He had 17. He lost 17 yards. Maybe more than that now that I'm thinking about it. In the final, the weird plays, running out the clock. So he finished with 28 in the game. If I would have lost those bets like that,
oh no,
I would have been breaking stuff in my house.
How about the tickets that cashed last night? Burton 16-1, Davis 7-1, Edwards 2 touchdowns 9-1, Esteme first touchdown 16-1.
Yeah.
My Aiken Haskins, what was he 8-1?
That's a reach, but I like it.
But this is ridiculous. These anytime touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think who? It's like Major League. Who the hell are these guys?
Burton to be that big anytime.
Yeah.
20 different players had a catch last night. I can't wrap my head around that.
They're like 11 of the last 12 meetings had gone under. And then, right, of course, it's an aerial circus.
Some NBA last night. Dante DiVincenzo over 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists. How about that game? Are you serious?
I was pounding the in-play over. I'm like, Minnesota's not stopping them.
Wow.
So they put up like a 219.5 like the first commercial break. And the Knicks were whatever they wanted. And then they went to like 224, 228, and it just piece of cake.
Tatum over 9.5 rebounds, plus 115 got there.
What did Cat do?
He had 32 and 20, I think, last night.
Yeah, standing ovation.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I bet him. He's not going to win. I took 125-1 MVP last night. He'll finish, at this pace, he'll finish top 3 or top 4. But if the Knicks would win the Atlantic, who knows? Herbert's longest rush under 8. That was looking great. And then all of a sudden.
I couldn't believe that. What is this? They take it out. Looks like Earl Campbell out there.
Under longest rush, no good. Bo Nix, most rushing yards in the game for a ham sandwich. That was a loser. Moving forward with the bets today. Pending Spurs Knicks over 225.5 Christmas Day. Tennessee plus 7.5 tomorrow. Sam Darnold, comeback player of the year, 25-1. Player props. Kendrick Bourne over 18.5 receiving yards. His last, 5 games? 3 for 44, 3 for 39, 3 for 30, 5 for 74 for 41, 18.5 too low. McBride, 50-plus yards and an anytime touchdown, plus 155. Tonight, Jadarian Price over 36.5 rushing yards, minus 114. I'm like you, I added James Conner over 83.5. That number keeps going up and away. Might have to ladder him. And Caleb Williams, no INT, is plus 120. Had to take it.
Have to take that. 8 in a row without throwing one?
That's right.
Yep, absolutely.
And he looked really good, by the way, in that second half against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
All right, fingers crossed. Let's get some close games, huh? Remember what it was like when
yes,
the playoff before, we'd still have blowout city.
Right.
So let's have some close games this weekend. This will be something.
I think that happens almost every year in the Final Four in college hoops.
Yeah, I know. Is this a stupid question? What gets volume tomorrow at your house? The NFL or the playoffs?
Ooh, no, it's not a stupid question at all.
Yeah, they're good NFL games.
You know what? I heard Wilbo on with Tim Murray last night. He had a great answer. We'll flip every time there's a commercial.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Very good. We know 4 people at the game tonight at least. Wes Reynolds is there, Indiana Jet, Brad Powers, and Dr. Stephen Gephardt.
Yeah.
All at the game.
No, I want drama the whole weekend. I don't want blowouts.
That's right.
I want these road teams to be live, man.
It'd be great. People are going to freak out at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Where's the game? What am I? Oh, TNT.
In fact, I'm going to probably forget that.
Uh-huh. Hey, you've been doing this for... Yeah, you never put on TNT for a football game.
I mean, your first thought is going to be to go to ESPN and then maybe CBS, ABC, that kind of a deal, and then you're going to be lost for a minute, like, wait a second, where am I at? What am I doing?
All right. Love Fridays.
Oh, can you imagine bars across the country tomorrow?
Yeah.
They're not going to have... TNT's not on the setup by default. Anyway.
I don't want to get in trouble, but good-looking bartender, you think she's fine in that channel? I mean, come on.
Yeah, move on.
Follow the money. Stay tuned to Follow the Money. Feast in Prime Time, Von Tobel and Humans. Humans with the Friday Football Invitational. Chuck Edel. The Iceman, first place.
The Iceman.
Mr. Total. God, is he good. Massaro having a good year as well. All the picks. And then you have, you love this, Sean King, Sean Green, and Ryan Kramer.
Oh, they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, with the ladders and first touchdowns, 11 p.m. to 2 p.m. following the Friday Football Invitational. Yep.
Well, it's here. We finally made it to the big game.
1 hour away. No score first 5.5 minutes.
All right.
$1.50. Let's start with a winner there.
Great job today,
Let's
buddy.
do it. All right. Good job. Have a good weekend. Monday's going to be fun. Know all these matchups. Let's go. Thanks to the crew. Have a good one. Humans next.